Good day everyone, my name is Leila Handay and I'll be presenting my own products of technology. So first is the personal use. For me, the product of technology is my phone, an Oppo A5s. Uh, this pretty, Before I was only using computers like Toshiba, and it did occur to me that I will be having a smartphone. So I only acquired this during a lucky raffle in my junior high school, and I was I was curious to see how this would benefit me. And two of those benefits were: one, there's a built-in FM radio here, and two, uh, this is already a bridge to uh, to to my social media accounts. And so that also includes connecting and communicating with my friends and families here.
So for my question, I'd like to ask, do you consider your phone a more usable and preferable technology over your laptop, which is a MacBook Air, since you wanted to connect with other people and then they both have the same functions? Do you have a preference?
Well, yes, they do. They do have the same functions, but the benefit for laptops is that they have a bigger screen, whereas for smartphones, though you still have to use it from time to time, it may be handheld, but it can compare to the laptop's display screen. So, in terms of viewing experience, I'll still prefer the laptop over the smartphone. So, product. The second product is for community use. I chose Enron Colleges as the community, and the product that they've been using for years is the air conditioner. Uh, Before, it's just your typical electric fans, or uh, just the windy breeze from the windows, from your environment. But when air conditions were introduced, this is because uh, all faculties and students mostly wear warmer clothes like blazers and long sleeves dress shirts. So that means that they'll need more. They'll need more cool. So to establish more of that formality, they introduced the air cons, and they always update it from time to time, like in mm, the cafeteria and in the atrium. Their latest input there was also an air conditioner.
Alright, so I have a question with regards to this technology. So as you can see here, if zoomed in, we can see a power button. However, if you look closely at the other ones, and both of them as well, they've actually been punctured, meaning they drilled a hole into it so that no student, no employee would try to touch or power on, off the button. Now, this is also a remote controlled air conditioning technology or system, as you may also refer, since it's governed by a remote as well. So I would like to ask, do you think the aircon here in this room should be better off without a button a power off on button of its own, or should it need the help of a remote control device? Because we don't have it here, and it's like required that only the facilities could hold it, and not the students or anyone using this room should, use it.
Good question, but for me, if it's a classroom setup, there's supposed to be both a button at the aircon and a remote from the facilities office. But in terms of large areas like the atrium and the tent, they don't need a button for that because you only have to run to the facilities office and get their remote control. So as to make sure that none of the guests or visitors are doing something wrong with the aircon. And lastly, the nationwide use. So for this product, I'll be using the fire extinguisher. So the fire extinguisher is is an alternative for water hoses. If water hoses can eject water, this fire extinguisher ejects foam, watery foam that will uh, that in spraying medium or small fires, uh, any any person can quickly put out the fire. Before that, as I've mentioned, there's the water hoses and buckets of water. But the problem with these is that it takes time to put out the fire, and and sometimes there are just no um, policies or even steps on how to put out the fire. Hence, when you see the fire extinguisher, you not only have the steps on how to operate it, but you're also guided uh, to how you can put out the fire and what objects or places the fire extinguisher is comfortable of. And so, how is this acquired? Well, uh, this is mandated already by the government because, according to them, you'll have to have a fire extinguisher from enterprises. These enterprises that uh, that are that do manufacture and distribute fire extinguishers. Not only this is safe for all buildings, but it also maintains the readiness of each employee or person guided through it. Now, as for your questions,
My question for this one is, since all of the nation have extinguishers, why is it these cannot be used to put out bigger fires, and you needed the help of firemen to do so?
okay. So to rephrase that question a bit, not all of the not not all of the nation has fire extinguishers because fire extinguishers are for household areas or even in large buildings, commonly for factory use and other uh, hazardous hazardous buildings. So when you say that you still need firemen, this is only because you you have authorities. You you have authorities that you can uh, rely on. So whenever you've like uh, used your fire extinguisher, yes, you can do it. But you also need the verification that you've already put out the fire. It's easy to come uh, to your employers or to the to your household cleaning staff. But when it comes to you just put out a medium fire or a large fire with luckily just on your fire extinguisher, then you still need some advice from your fireman, like from the Bureau of Fire Protection. This is to ensure that none of the none that you did well and none of the property has been damaged and you've successfully put out the fire. Your product is personal use. Would you say that that product is irreplaceable or it can be traded with something else? So smartphones, I know they can be replaceable, but in my case, this is my first phone, so it will be difficult to replace it. As I've been using it since high school, I haven't thought of even replacing my smartphone. But if I were to be given a chance to replace that, then I would be needing to think about the costs and about that new phone. Since this product is successful in this community, do you see aircons as used nationwide? Mm, for large buildings like offices and private schools, yes. For public schools, I do believe they have the advantage, although it won't be promoted nationwide. There will be like selected public schools that will have their own aircons. Though they won't be like the ones here in Enderan, they'll have the ones like the switch instead of being remote controlled. Because it is used all throughout the whole nation, is there a proper waste management for it? As far as I know, fire extinguishers, when they run out of foam, uh, they're immediately uh, put into to their designated uh, gar- garbage from the government. If there are any uh, private sectors that accept to renew the metals in the fire extinguisher, then there can be fire extinguishers can be used for that. Although, if that fire extinguisher is still usable and it still has foam, then again, the uh, the entities will still need to properly maintain the fire extinguishers.